Good morning, rise and shine. Get over here. Nope. I'm tired. I'm tired. But it's okay. We've got a short stream here. Well, not a super short stream. I know short for like our morning streams is usually like half an hour. We've got like an hour and a half here to do some streams today. I picked out some new glasses yesterday. They should be ready in the next month. So I gotta get some use out of these still. But yeah, my eyeballs are a-okay. It was really cute. There was a kid there, he had glasses, but he was getting, I think, his second pair of glasses ever. And I think he had worn his first pair for like a long time and just like, I think he was like the only one in his family with vision problems because like no one just like thought to like check his vision as a follow-up. So when he like put on the new glasses, he was like, I can see again. The poor little baby. And the mom, she was like so overwhelmed. She's like, I didn't even know he like couldn't see these things. It was, there's a lot of troublesome kids in the AI era and the political climate. There's a lot of troublesome kids, there's a lot of parents that don't want to parent, but you know what? There's a lot of parents out there raising some good kids, that family was just very adorable. As I was trying not to cry with my dilated eyes, like spacing out in the corner of the room. Well, yeah, I'm tired because I woke up early yesterday to clock into work early, so I just came back and took a nap and played The Sims. Well, not really played The Sims, I updated The Sims and made sure it wasn't corrupted and then installed my mods. So I worked on making it so that I can play The Sims. Bad morning. That's like Emmy cooked cookie or something. That's not me. If you see a bitch in the alleyway with a bad bob, go the other way. If you see a cookie dough channel where she looks like she is fully functioning and not just half baked, go the other way. No, I'm not on drugs, y'all. I'm not on drugs. I just really like cookie dough. Hold on. But yeah, nice chill stream today because throughout next month, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, but I know this is the first year I've been uploading these game dev VODs to YouTube, so I like to every October try to in some way participate a little bit in Blocktober. which for those that don't know, Blocktober is kind of like a level design equivalent of Inktober. And if you don't know what that is, because I like try to remove myself so much more from social media post college because it's hell. But yeah, I wonder how many people still do Inktober. I think maybe like mermaid is more popular for artists now. I see a lot more mermaid stuff in the summer than I do spooky stuff in October. But Inktober is kind of like the thing where artists would like pump out a piece of art every day originally, and each day had a different spooky theme that you could interpret however you like for whatever your art style is. And then it kind of turned into Inktober being something where it's like just do like what you can and pick which ones you want. And then the level design equivalent is Blocktober is kind of like using October to celebrate different variations of layouts, no matter what genre, no matter what state, whether it's in an early design, whether it's like AAA developers sharing their finished work and talking about how they did that, because you usually can't show the behind the scenes too much. So it's just become a nice time for level designers to connect with each other, new and old. If you are someone that's even just like, I think I'm very new to level design, and I kind of just block out these really open spaces, but I really want feedback on it. I was able to get so much good feedback like my first like couple months of level design because Blocktober rolled around and I started posting my stuff then. So if you're interested in level design, I highly recommend. I don't know if anyone really any of that good community really uses Twitter anymore, but I do think a lot of them might have moved to Blue Sky. But yeah, just see whatever social media platforms you're on. If you happen to see anything for Blocktober, and you want to contribute, I think it's always a lot of fun. I'll have to think if I want to post my stuff anywhere this year. So I'll be keeping an eye out as well. But yeah, I've participated in different ways, sometimes just posting existing blockout work, sometimes we'll just do like we've done a long 12-hour blockout stream in the past where we start with just the concept, do a quick paper design, and then go straight into doing a quick blockout and playability in the past, and all that good stuff. So I want to last year we made our first tycoon in Fortnite Creative. I've been using Unreal Engine 4 and 5 for several years. I am a professional level designer, so I've been using those like my whole career, but I've never actually used Fortnite Creative and their editor and their version of it until last summer. So to kind of round off that knowledge, I made a Wizard of Oz inspired tycoon map for last year's Blocktober, and it spilled a little into November because, you know, there may be a certain Wizard of Oz type movie that I adore and love based off of a musical that's my favorite of all time. There may have been some good opportunities to market it last year, so same thing with this year. So I want to actually revisit that same map, and I'm still gonna decide between now and when we actually kick off revision work if I want to. I'm leaning towards I want to revise the existing map and make it better rather than just either duplicating it and making a fresh Oz Tycoon 2 from there, or just making one from scratch entirely. We do have a lot of stream windows to like work on this, and I do want to get to a good first pass of the revisions by the end of the month and then do a little bit more polished work in November, same as last year. But yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think I'm not too worried about like I'm not really using Fortnite Creative, especially since I'm working full-time again, to like want to monetize anything. I'm not really worried about I need this to like go viral or anything. I think there might be like 1 or 2 dedicated players out there that still play. Like all my other maps are like fully dead in the water. I think there's like a couple friends out there that still just farm XP in Oz Tycoon. like every so often. So to whoever those like 2 people in the world are, I'm not gonna change the existing economy that much at all. I just kind of want to make things a bit prettier, make things more rewarding, and to kind of overhaul how combat works, and to implement like a save state of some kind, I think, so you can kind of new game plus the tycoon as well. So I want to add improvements to the existing XP stuff that players must like, rather than strip away what those whatever those 2 people like out there. This Blocktober is dedicated to them. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't think we've actually been in Fortnite creative since the start of the year either, so there was a really nasty XP bug where I was like, I couldn't balance anything because it like wouldn't show you XP and my levels like being smaller and not really advertising them. Some of them just, you wouldn't get XP calculated for like a couple weeks, so there was no way for me to like properly playtest with that bug. And I think it lasted like a month or so, and I just kind of dropped Fortnite creative. I was like, you know what, we did all the maps I wanted to for now. And that's, I think, about when we started up our Kid Icarus arenas. I'm like, let's switch gears back to Unreal Engine 5, which I've been very happy with. And we will, if you are a fan of those Kid Icarus blockouts, we're going to be going back and doing art passes on those at the end of the year, probably in December, I'm guessing. So that project's not going anywhere. That is such a like creative recharge for me that we are definitely, I said we're gonna keep putting more into that project until Nintendo releases their own Kid Icarus stuff. So we are going to keep putting more into that project for a little bit. I hope the file still works in the retirement home. I laugh because it's true and it pains me. But yeah, so that one's not going anywhere. I want to definitely try out some new stuff next year too, if you're a fan of that. But this next month or so will be for Oz Tycoon. We'll actually start block out work and like revision work on this. Not next week. Originally I was going to start next week, but I'll be out of town at the end of that week through that weekend. So the first full week of October, our chill streams throughout all of the weekday slots are going to turn into game dev streams for the first half of the month, and then for the second half of the month, those are going to switch to Pokemon Legends ZA streams. So basically October is going to be, I think we're going to stream just 3 things in October. It's going to be game dev stuff for Blocktober. It's going to be that multiplayer Elden Ring session that we will have the weekend after I get back from a trip. And then it will be Pokemon Legends. And that's all we're going to focus on. But this weekend, as a heads up, the reason we're not continuing this into this weekend, Hades 2 1.0 has released. I have been trying to avoid anyone saying anything about this game, even though I know it's probably a lot of people that didn't play early access checking it out for the first time. I don't want a hint of a spoiler anywhere. And gameplay spoilers are spoilers too. Even though I've been playing early access, I don't want to know, oh, I like when this character did this in my run. No, that might not have happened to me. So we are going to deep dive and do Hades streams. No, not SpongeBob. But we're going to deep dive, and we're continuing our early access file, so hopefully we're actually we should be really close to starting the process for whatever the true ending is. So that's goal number 1. So we will be doing that Saturday, Sunday, and then for our morning streams Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. So that is the upcoming schedule. I will post the October one sometime next week once I finalize it, but it should be pretty straightforward. But yeah, as you can see, this was our Miro board for working on the Kid Icarus stuff. This was the last one we did, and finished up last week, I believe. Which actually, the more I look at it, I know it's not a polished art pass by any means, but I'm like, you know what? This one might end up having the most potential out of all of them. This one's gone the quickest because we've learned a lot from our mistakes on what I did and didn't want to do with this kind of arena project. So this one, I actually really like the revisions I made to this one a lot more. I think this is the one where the revisions I've made scream the most like this fits in the map. To the point that whenever they do get around to remaking like Redark mode one day, like if they don't have extra cover revisions, it'll feel off because I'm like, well, mine did. Which is a very arrogant and snobby thing to say, which I usually hate myself quite a lot, so I don't know why I feel so confident in being like, yeah, I put a circle here, so I'm kind of that girl. But yeah, I'm really happy with where we did leave off Ancient Fortress. Forgotten City over here still, I really like our foliage pass on it. And then Spiral Tower, I think I still want to do a lot more material work in the future, but getting the little arty flag to work on there, that was a pretty good stream. But yeah, fun fact is all my Twitch stuff I've actually just been putting on the same Miro board the whole time. As you can see, it started off just like as a way to document progress and like some revisions I wanted to do, and then it turned into me being like, let me just practice my paper design like sections and how I usually section it off while I'm unemployed last year. And then it turned into, okay, we need something for Oz Tycoon. So this is I'm still proud of this. This was like our little economy mapping thing for both how XP is dealt to players and also how gold is dealt to players. So I'm happy with this. Though I do struggle to read it a bit more, but we got little timers. Actually, maybe the yellow was just things I haven't. I think that was stuff I hadn't implemented actually. So I think I can update that again. That's what I was doing with those. But yeah, as you can see, the flow is pretty simple. The flow is basically just sectioned off the lands of Oz into like 4, kind of 5 spaces if you include the Emerald City section. You start in Munchkin Land in the east, and then you go counterclockwise around. It's a standard tycoon thing where you start regenning gold at kind of a slow pace, but you can do the farming sim stuff to increase that. And then you can also restore the houses around Oz, but you can also get XP by doing combat encounters as well, and as you're doing those, your passive gold income is still generating in the background. So that's kind of how it's balanced right now. I still want to have combat in the game, but I'd like to make the Actually, I need to start writing this down. I'm yapping when I should be writing. I would like to make the Wicked Witch encounters a bit stronger. I would like to also beef up. You can recruit the Good Witches to fight alongside you. I would like to kind of beef up their stats as well. What did I do? Huh? I just want a square, please. Oh, yeah, you have to drag them in here. Right? What are you doing? Whoa. Why can't I make a square in here anymore? Okay, you'll do. I was using a different site, not Miro, but something like similar the other day. So I think I'm a little turned around on where to go. Or actually, you know what? We can just I think we could just move stuff around in here. See, I moved the Holy Economy map up there. Let's grab all of this stuff. Go right to the top. All of this is outdated, but I'll put over here. And then our progress picks, let's slide that. I'd like it to make it horizontal, but that's not really something I have to do today. Okay, now we got some space. Oh, you got some volunteer work? You might get hired? Oh yeah, the seasonal work. Oh, good luck, have fun. Christmas time is why they bring on seasonal workers for so many places. But if you can prove yourself there during the Christmas holiday rush, you can prove yourself anywhere. I believe in you, Fluli. Maybe I should look at doing like some weekend volunteer stuff for the holidays. I did like again when I was in high school and doing like the National Honor Society stuff. My favorite part was helping like the kids in the classrooms and stuff. But I did enjoy some of the like helping stuff around town. Usually it was like churches during the holiday seasons. Like in the fall it was helping set up for like Halloween stuff and pumpkin patches, and then like they would have a lot of stuff for charity drives during the winter. Let's see, let's do rename this. Let's do all caps. Master list. So we can condense this down later if we want to, but this, can it be bigger? That is as big as it can be. But we can make it bigger. that big list. Okay, so what have I said so far? I think the biggest thing is going to be wanting save state stuff. And then general combat overhaul. Wicked Witch battles. Let's see, more polish to farming sim mechanic. Visual vistas. More shape language along brick road. I'm adding all this visual stuff. No, I don't want to document. Leave me alone. I know how to use Miro. Miro's trying to act like I'm new here. Also, hello there, Prosto Kotlo. I hope I said that right. How are you doing today? But yeah, we can do more shape language. Optimization though. I think we're getting closer to our memory budget on this project already, if I remember. So we're gonna need an optimization pass before we add more art, because even with all the, it's all like the pre-made stuff, and it's already gonna explode, so we gotta be smart about it. And I'm working on, my goal for this October and November for Blocktober is to revise the first Fortnite creative tycoon I ever made. The goal is to do a revision pass on that this year, a year later. I do have it pulled up so I could run through it and get more ideas of what I want to fix, but this is where we left things off a year ago. It's a very simple tycoon where you just passively generate gold. As you generate it, all these things start off like anything in a purple volume basically starts off in a destroyed state, and you restore them. Once you restore enough, you can, or once you save up your gold, I guess, you can unlock the next area, which has faster gold generating, but also higher paying farm stuff, but higher prices to restore stuff. And then we've got stuff like you can recruit the good witches of the north and south to fight alongside you. I gave them like weapons as the good witches do, and then you can do little mini boss battles with the wicked witches of the east and west for XP. But yeah, I feel like we did this is a very solid initial pass for a tycoon sim, but it's not polished. It's not as polished as like the ones you see doing daily numbers on UEFN. These giant red hitboxes, that's actually another thing. I want to replace them with the visual effects, but they're just blockers for the next area until you generate the gold needed to get in there. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a number generator thing. A tycoon map is like, think of like a business tycoon, or like a cafe tycoon would have you like starting off with a really broken shop that's empty and selling like basic coffees to people and making money, but then once you make enough money you can buy like an espresso machine and sell them lattes for more money. It's kind of stuff where you start from rags and then you try to build your numbers up to be rich, and the element of that in UEFN is also increasing the opportunities to get experience from that as well, because I think, yeah, when you restore stuff, I give the player experience points, and those experience points grow as you get farther in the map as well. So that's always the more intriguing thing, I think, why everyone plays Fortnite creative. Like, there are some really good experiences on there, but you're playing to level up through the battle pass, right? It's not some big secret. Like, you're not going to get your game of the year fix necessarily on Fortnite creative. You're going to have, hopefully, a really fun, really real game experience. But you're looking for a little something in return. So that's why I wanted to try. I'm usually an arena designer professionally. I've worked on arenas at the AAA level, and then I'm working, I worked on some for like the last update for the indie game I'm working at professionally. But yeah, I think that's what intrigued me to want. I play a lot of like simulator games and really like them, so I think that's what intrigued me to be like, well, I've never actually just sat down and made like a tycoon before, so Fortnite Creative's kind of the perfect place to learn how to do that. Yeah, kind of like, it's also kind of like, think tycoons are like 3D versions of like Cookie Clicker or something. I'm never gonna make something better than the Michael Jackson horror game. I fear no one's able to. Like, now that that idea's been tapped into, what's the rest of game dev supposed to do, man? But yeah, let me replace red blockers with finished. Hello, finished VFX. Let's see. More sound effects. More sound effects. More VFX. I think I did end up putting some in before we hit 1.0 on this. More. A tycoon game, you live off of the feedback. When you do something, you want a happy sound to play, and you need like some confetti or something. Like you need something very addicting effects wise to like something you want to keep like doing over and over again. You don't want annoying effects because again you're gonna keep doing this stuff over and over again, but like hearing like money in like a bag or something, or seeing like little confetti, you're like, oh, that's nice, I'm going to do this 6,000 more times. Or I'm thinking about tycoons, I mean the biggest classic one, Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's the tycoon game of all time. But we don't have any death coasters in here, so it's, you know. But yeah, let me start adding details for some of these too, like save states specifically. Player always starts from Munchkinland. Every game start. But they should keep their money and anything they unlock from the Emerald City. That way it encourages you still have to do a full run of like going from start to end every time you boot up the game, but I want to let players, because this was still kind of like, I just labeled it all as coming soon, because I always wanted to come back and do a 2.0, especially with Wicked Part 2 coming out this year. Wicked for Good, I'm so excited. I was like, I'll definitely come back to this around this time of year. So I want like a weapons vendor to let you get better weapons. Right now you do start off with legendary pistols. Once we get this working, I will nerf that. But for now, for playtesting, I'm not using common guns. But I will make that rougher later. I think we do technically have the pet stuff working. I just don't think we have like the buying it element. Maybe we do. Yeah, I don't think we have the actual transactional element of it in, but technically I think we have Toto in, and then I want to, oh, that's a good thing. Cosmetics. I want to add some cosmetics as well. City vendors. We need to art pass Emerald City. That's like the biggest thing we didn't get to. Because I'm not an artist, I'm a level designer, right? So I place everything with blocks, as you can see on like the other projects we've done on stream. I place everything with blocks, and then around like here is where art would come in and make this way prettier. And then I will come back in afterwards and make sure gameplay elements are still working. And move stuff around as needed. But usually like these art passes are done by someone way more qualified than I am. So I've been trying to do art passes on stream and just bear through the ugly stages of that, even though it's not what I do in my daily work, because I think it's important to conquer fears. It's always important to diversify your skill set as well. But yeah, you can see I did not end up accomplishing the Emerald City stuff last year, so that's definitely something we want to do this year. I couldn't find a good kit in Fortnite Creative that I wanted to use. Like I wasn't really happy with any of the kits. I didn't feel confident in kit bashing anything, so there have been more Fortnite updates, so I might check them again. Yeah, art passing Emerald City is gonna be a big one. let's see, general combat overhaul. Okay, what I'm thinking for this now, when I say it's mostly a visual thing, so the way the general combat works right now is I wanted each area, again, if you want to let your gold passively generate in the background, and you want to focus on getting mostly XP because Fortnite Battle Pass, you know, then you could just go do some simple like infinite combat generation stuff, and like a very simple layout for a bit while that generates to kind of kill time. But because I wanted to make a space for each area, but I wanted it to be a bit separated from the rest of everything, I ended up just making like these green galaxy blockers that you can walk through, but the NPCs and shots cannot. And then you are kind of just trapped in here. The idea being like, oh, you're in this like extra dimensional little pocket rift thing where you can fight and stuff. But visually, it doesn't read as a combat zone. Granted, all you need for like a tycoon on Fortnite Creative is just making this text bigger and lowering it right in front. That would be a simple solution. But if we have the time, what I'd like to do instead is make this like another building you can renovate and make this a giant portal that's portal to combat training. And then we have this on its own like instance, far away from stuff, like probably just hidden like down here or something. But we have it on its own like separate hidden instance. And then you can load into there and just be loaded into this little combat arena. And then you can leave the portal and come right back when you want to go back to everything else. But yeah, I want these to be portals to the layout instead of the entire layout on its own. Again, I specialize in arena design, so I know I can do, I think most of the ones we're using right now are pre-built because I'm like, we just kind of don't have the space for anything else. And I wanted to focus on getting the tycoon design down first since that's what I was more unfamiliar with. But it's a new year, it's a new me. Portal 2. Mew in a bad place, 2 portals next to each other. Yo, a Portal remake in UEFN would be kind of cool. I don't know if it would be possible though, like, it wouldn't be better. It wouldn't be better. That's not what I will say at all. It wouldn't be better, but it is always fun to see like the little kind of knockoff like Roblox and Fortnite creative versions of existing games. Not really so much of recent stuff when like they're trying to get their money and stuff. I know I think it was the Peak developers, they kind of had an issue with like the immediate like clones of that on Roblox. They're like, what the hell? They're like, we made a fun game, why are you immediately copying it? But I like seeing some older stuff recreated. That's always fun. Let's see, general combat overhaul, okay, I hit all caps, oops. Portal 2 combat arenas, not portal containing arena outline. So that will be a pretty big overhaul because that will affect 4 spaces, I believe. Yeah, we have this one here in the east. This one I didn't even try with, but it is like a little cornfield. Like, this is very... I'm excited too because like this is very limited right now. We've just got like this little cornfield and we've got like these little shacks and that's the whole arena. We could make like such a bigger space that's kind of like that. Even though I hate this map, it's kind of like that farmhouse map in like DBD. Like we can make something smaller but bigger than this for that. And I think one of the... Oh wait, I wanted to add a vista back here. That's why I kept it open. That, you see, that's a decision that I don't agree with now, revisiting it. I'm like, well, that should be sealed in as well. And also, it's like, if you're in a space that's fully covered up like this, how do you know how to exit back? Once you go in here, it's very confusing in here, so it's like, where's the exit? So having dedicated like little portals would help with that. But that's the one in the north. The one in the west is actually like this pit down here, this ravine, so you can fall down into this from up there, which I do like. But like we didn't get to do like any level design in here, man. I think this is when we were at the very end. I think I saved this one for like one of the last things, and I'm like, I guess we're just putting trees. I guess we're just putting what, pretzel trees? And then this one over here again doesn't have like any walls to it. I do really like, I think this was a pre-built thing, but I do really like the idea of this like little flower garden, like hedge maze stuff. Because we used these assets on our first UEFN map. We made like a stronghold arena with princess assets. I should revisit that map one day. That was really fun. But yeah, as you can see, as we lost time more and more, the different arenas got more and more kind of cutting corners, honestly. I'll be on. I like to do these on streams just to be honest about the game development process and how like even if you don't like my finished products, all of your favorite games have a stage where they look a little bit wonky and weird, despite what people said, despite what the geniuses of like Reddit and the internet that have never gone outside said when GTA 6 released, and they're like, well, this is obviously close to what, or when it leaked, and they're like, this is obviously close to the finished product since you do art first in game development. No one does that. Yeah, it's very important to me on my channel to show the development process and show like me doing stuff one stream and then being like, actually I hated that and it's really ugly the next, because that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you have to like let other stuff go. Sometimes you have to be like, no, I really want to keep revising this part because it can be really special. That's what's made working on like the Kid Icarus remake stuff really fun. So I want to apply that level of fun here as well. But let me run through it. Let me run through it for a bit and see if we can remember anything else. Oh, I want a better... I really thought of something. I might pull the Miro up into like a separate window real quick. But yeah, I want a proper tutorial. I mean, it is pretty to the point, but I think it could just be a little clearer if you started in like your own little house or something. Like if we had Dorothy's house here, or the remnants of it, I guess. It could be like, pick up your weapon, pick up the gold. Like right here, I just have insert gold, generate coins. Which is good, and people have obviously like gotten it. Because people have put in the time on this map. But we can do better. We can do better. It can be easy to look at the numbers and be like, oh, well, I think everyone's gotten the gist of it, so it must be fine, and not think about all the people that didn't get it. It could be easy to only look at, like, the good numbers. But we want to look at the full picture when doing revisions. You like to eat sand and melted glass. I mean, you know, there's gotta be nutrients somewhere in there. pumpkins. Still our pumpkins. Oh, I remember another thing I want to do. Yeah, when vitamin C. Yeah, let's see. I want to add NPCs on town fixing events. Like, my initial thought is when you fix up like X% of an area, this amount of NPCs will spawn in. When you do like this percent will spawn in. I think it might feel better and be a bit easier to tie like them to the existing events. So there's events off of these buttons that like unhide. Technically it's like you press the button, if you have the money for it, it disables it, it unhides the rest of the stuff in the volume. And then that's it, you know? So it might be worth it to just see if we can put NPCs in these volumes. Or to tie an event off of this event and be like on unhidden spawn NPC and have them walk around here. Because the town, visually you can build it up, but it doesn't have like any people, and I do want I think that was something I really wanted to have in the first one that I didn't end up getting, was just wanting to have the town like feel more alive in terms of character interaction too. But we mostly focused on like the good and wicked witches. Okay, I think we got the money to go to the north now. Oh, also there's these like hidden scrolls that give you very large amounts of XP. I wanted like to put in something. Oh, but you have to pay the toll first. Let me pay this first. Just give it a few seconds, it'll get there. It'll get there. Yeah, there's all these different scrolls you can collect as well, and they're kind of like hidden stuff. Once you find them, you kind of find them and that's it, but I'm fine with it being like that. It's kind of a little reward to be like, hey, if you're replaying this game and like going and grabbing the large XP rewards, you're replaying the game. It says they're only medium XP. Do I bump that up again? I want that to be much. You also get playtime XP, which is a large reward. Which is not something I originally came up with. A lot of like the way XP's given to you, I was inspired by how other Unreal or Fortnite creative tycoons do it. Yeah, I'm really happy with the gold economy in this game. But I might make some revisions to the XP stuff. I think also, so the reason it doesn't tell you exact amounts, right, is Fortnite does its own like XP calibration, so that's why you don't have tycoon maps that just set everything to like very large XP for doing anything. Fortnite will take like it's more like you're telling it what percentage of the XP given will go where, essentially. So if you mark everything as very large, then Fortnite will just divide that up equally because nothing's listed as getting less XP than that. But if you mark like most stuff as medium or even most stuff as large, and then you have like the playtime XP be very large, then like that would have a larger chunk distributed to it, and that chunk would be larger proportionally based on if the other stuff was large, medium, or like small XP. So that's why it's hard to playtest the exact amounts, is because Fortnite will not show you it to you until you release, and until Fortnite XP is calibrated either naturally through players playing it a lot. The more players play a game, the faster the XP will calibrate. Okay, I've always noticed issues with like the Apple pickups. So I'm just gonna put Apple pickup debug because it bothers me. But yeah, let's go ahead and demonstrate what happens if you get a good witch. You also get a little money reward. Lacosta, no one ever talks about you. But it's okay, I do. I do. Come here. Come here. She does have weapons on her. I don't know. I forget what they are, so let's go find out. We'll head over to the Wicked Witch of the West and go do that stuff. I think I might need to do a blocking pass as well on the outside, because I think Fortnite physics, you can get like flung from stuff, but then like the NPCs get flung just out into the ocean and they're just gone. But yeah, like, because the gold economy works, and because, like I said, there's like 2 people out there that still like religiously play this. So I really don't want to change the base game of it. Usually Blocktober is focused for like doing new things or like scrapping something and starting from a fresh block out, but I really want to focus on revisions this year, I think. Break the flow a little bit. And then next year we'll probably do another like new fresh idea, fresh concept from like, or even if it's just a new remake of a Kid Icarus Arena, like do a block out truly from start to finish. But get up here, girl. We going to war. We going to war. Get up here. I don't remember how to play Fortnite. Oh! Oh! Girl! Oh, she's got snowball grenades. I think we need to rebalance the good witches, because what? No, no. Help me. Help me. Oh! I'm trying to dash like we do in the Unreal Lyra stuff. And I can't dash. Why are you high? Okay, the good witches need some recalibration, man. It's not working. Oh. Yeah, I like the intensity of this fight, especially with like a gold weapon. Feels right. Oh my god. It just and then you do have to run back, yeah. But everything's still unlocked on respawn, which is nice. And look at all the gold we've been generating while doing this. Wow. But yeah, I wish they moved around the space more, and I think that's just how Fortnite's AI works. I might have to play some just more Battle Royale and see if they have any they usually some seasons have like a character that is kind of like a boss fight in their own little arena, and take a peek at how that seems to be working. Yeah, that is a thing about Fortnite AI, is it just kinda sits in place and doesn't seem to— you can build a really cool arena, and it doesn't seem to utilize it. Ooh. Which is why we're using so many like pre-built things here, because yay. Ooh. Excellent. And then where's Lacosta? Is she like under the map? I think she somehow fell under the map. We can't help her now. Or wait, no, there is a downstairs. What's she doing down here? What are you doing? Hello? 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 What happened to my mouse? Okay. There we go. Oh, I missed. Or actually, these ones infinitely respawn already, right? Yeah, I see. Why didn't I make this just the combat? I guess I wanted to have like places to prepare for combat, but like, why don't those give you XP? Should give XP. And then yeah, good witch rebalance. This is why I wanted to do a run-through of the existing map today. Some things you'll only catch by actually playing the map. Biggest advice for anyone going into any part of game dev is playtest. Even if you're like, that looks right, play it. It should work right. Play it. Play it. You'd never know. Glinda! Can't wait for her to pull up with the shotgun and for good. And then the collectible for the farming stuff here is the poppies, which grants a lot. They're a bit harder to see, but like, I have these little cutouts here to help. Oh dang, where is it? Where is it actually? Oh, there we go. My cursor was just a little off from where I thought it would be. Yeah, they give you a lot more money. How much do you need to see the wizard? Aha, we have enough. There he is. The Jonesy of us. Originally, I put that in there as placeholder, but you know what? You know what? I want to have it only turn on when you unlock it. I'm about to type this up literally in the paper design. Jonesy of Oz. Can't break dance until you pay to enter the Emerald City. If you saw that in the patch notes for your game, what are you doing? Toto! You found Toto. He's completely normal, trust me. You know, I'm kind of funny. I'm kind of funny when I want to be. Who's shooting, actually? Hold on a minute. That's not normal. Who's shooting? Toto! Oh, is Lacosta still picking a fight with everyone up there? That's nice. Toto! And yeah, once you unlock the Oz, you can come back here. I kind of want to put a more formal like drop down. Yeah, we should add a unlockable path from east to south. That way, once you have the full map, you can go. Or wait, I guess I do technically have it over here. I need to add a dirt path. Yeah, that needs to be readable. The great Jonesy of Oz will see you now. I have a lot of really fun ideas in here. Honestly, I'm happy to be revisiting this. I think there's a lot of potential here. I don't know if we'll be the Fortnite tycoon of all time or anything, but I think there is a lot we can do here. Floating tree. You know what? Let me fix the floating tree. No, Glinda! Let me fix the floating tree thing. When it lets me have my cursor back from the beyond. Cause let's practice our check-in stuff again. Perfect, beautiful. Okay, so we made a change. We're gonna save the change. We're gonna check in. I think it like had to refix a lot of stuff too. Fixed up tycoon refs for new computer, and then I lowered a tree. That's very important. That's very important. But yeah, we check that in, then we can push our changes to the Fortnite window. As you can see, it says push changes to refresh. So it should auto refresh and auto play. Actually, our memory usage isn't that bad. Now that I look at it again. But I think it started jumping up a lot. Or we had an Emerald City texture that we used to have a lot more and that was not going to work. Oh, but there's collision on that. Oops. Now I've broken the collision forever. That's interesting. I'll just let her load in. She'll be fine. Yeah, kind of the main drawback about UEFN is bugs kind of get less attention on them compared to like mainline stuff. Because it's Fortnite creative. You would think it being connected to Fortnite would make it like more stuff get handled faster, but that XP bug really set me back at the start of the year and completely burnt me out, so I don't know. But yeah, the other thing is, like, in order to playtest anything, you do have to launch a Fortnite session. You can't just play it in editor, it has to launch with Fortnite. Which does optimize the editor a bit more and make it an easier download. But still, it really, especially as a level designer, like, I will constantly, like, move a rock and be like, okay, time to playtest. You have to push the change, you have to reload the session, you have to let it update. It is a lot more to do. Like, I remember telling some of my other, like, former coworkers and stuff have had an interest in, like, starting to learn UEFN and stuff as well. And I'm like, yeah, the really only downside is you have to keep launching Fortnite to playtest anything. And I crashed out a little bit over it. I'm like, I just love wanting to keep retrying the flow over and over again, but you gotta just wait and wait and wait every single time. So, but there's some things, like, that's definitely a huge time loss as a level designer, but there's other things that are saved as a level designer, like kit bashing. You get to use a lot, pretty much most of the kits, as long as it's not licensed stuff, are available for use. So, like, this was a pre-built thing that I think I edited a bit of. Actually, you see, her fight, she moves around the space. It's an easier fight, but I like the design of it a lot more. But yeah, like, this is all, like, a pre-built thing. The trees, I didn't import the trees. All the trees were Fortnite assets. Munchkin Land, Fortnite assets. Like, everything is just, like, already in. So you can try out a lot of kit bashing without, like, worrying about what you're adding and removing from the project, just because it's all there in the base thing. So that's a huge time save. But it does come at a price. Yeah, this, I was a bit worried that opening this up today, I was gonna be like, there's a lot more work than I thought there would be, and be like, dang, I kind of want to drop this because of how much it makes me look like an idiot. But you know, there is a core game loop here, and I really, like, I don't want to change the core loop at all. I really like it. I think we just needed like another couple months of polish, which if I were treating it like, if I wanted it to be actually successful, or to treat it like a full like piece, like design piece, I would have put that time in, but it really was just a Blocktober project then. So we'll do what we can do, goal being to do a first pass of hopefully everything on this list by Halloween, and then to do to actually like upload it before around the time Wicked for Good drops. Just it's free press, you know. It's a good time to release an Oz Tycoon, and quite possibly the only time, because I know people are like, they should make a part 3 of what? Like, I would absolutely be there, yeah, but the musical, it's an open and shut case. It was always gonna be 2 parts. I know there's always been rumors of like a Wizard of Oz remake one day, but I think that's in like development hell. And even though Wizard of Oz is timeless, which is again why I wanted to do this, another reason I wanted to do the theme for the Tycoon. Even though it's timeless, it's like, it's not gonna get a lot of people like talking and looking it up. So if ever there was a time to do one last hurrah for this map, good or bad, if it ends up being something really great, cool. If it ends up being about the same, but just slightly cleaner and something that I can make peace with on this map, knowing that I was able to put a little extra love into it here at the end. That's all I want sometimes. That's all you want, is just peace of mind on a project. So yeah, this is how the— oh my gosh, I forgot they had like the Jonesies and the like cow outfits. That's actually really— I remember having to get really creative with like the different enemies used. But you know what? Okay, now I have to see which enemies I used in each combat thing. I'm curious. But yeah, I'll check out what enemies, oh yeah, tutorial stuff. I think the initial thing I wanted was, like, a hologram Glinda? Question mark? NPC text? But yeah, we will take a quick look at what we have going on in each of these, and then the last thing we'll do for the paper design, because we don't need to redo the top-down design, we don't need to redo the economy design at all. So what I want to do is make tiers of the things we— priority 1, things we need to fix right away, priority 2 being things I would like to fix by Halloween, but if not, it can continue into November, and then priority 3 being things that if they don't happen, it will— okay, this is more of the cow guys. If they don't happen, it'll still be fine, but there are things that would really not make or break the experience, but make it fun. Oh my god. I do really like this, but yeah, I am lost as hell. So yeah, I would like to switch up the enemy variation for the north to like trees, I would think. I must not have been able to find any skins that reminded me of like trees. I think I did switch up their weapons. But yeah, I must have forgotten something. And who's down here. We got the evil girl bosses. We can work with that. We can work with that. I think I like the blue because that's kind of how like the flying monkeys are tinted in the original Wizard of Oz, and I was like, we're not really gonna find any flying enemies for Fortnite NPCs, and there wasn't really anything that looked like puppety that I could find. So I'm like, is anyone blue? if is anyone a light pale baby blue, you can be the NPC for the area. And I think this is like, yeah, these are like highly leveled, like little rainbow AI guys, which I like because the idea is like Glinda has like a little battle training thing for that one. And of course it would be pink, so those guys can stay. Right, I'm gonna end the game. I'll probably close the Fortnite session so my computer won't explode here. And then let's make this priority list. So that's the main one. Let's go ahead. P1. Okay, can't make the box smaller than that. That's fine. Can we make it in the middle at least? There we go. Let's do P1 and then do must do by Halloween. And do an outline under it too. P2 is must do by 2.0 early version by Halloween. And then our P3 is just, it would be nice once all others are completed. Alright, there we go. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I won't use text boxes for these. I will make each one into a sticky note. We should do different. Let's do different colored stickies. How much time do I have? I got like 15 minutes. We can color code the stickies. Yay! Yeah, green can be so green can be gameplay. This be like our art. Let's make art pink. Oh my gosh, green and pink. Wow. Yeah, focus. Orange, let's do for like XP. for economy. Changes, so a little different than regular gameplay. Do like purple for effects. That should cover it, I think. That should cover it. Okay. Okay, so first thing we've got is the save states. This is going to take a while to figure out. So it might not be what we start with, but we do need to do I even put it in? I'm gonna put it in P1 for now, like over here. It might slide into P2 because we might need to we might run into issues with it and need to like redo it by the 2.0, but we need to start work. This goes for any version of a save state, because I wanted to do one for my first ever like game as a designer, was the one I made in college with my friends. There is no save states. We wanted to do one, but we waited until the end and we were like, we can't do this. So if you want to implement save states in your game, it is way better to plan that out and look at it from the start and not when stuff is more complex later down the line. So because we didn't do it last year, it makes it a little harder for us to figure out this year. But if we can take a peek at that sometime in the first half of October, I think that would really help. So then we need our combat overhaul. That also is a P1, a bit higher up. Battle design. I also put this. The ones at the very top were the things I like listed right off the bat, so they're probably going to be the P1s. More polished the farming sim. That can be a P2. I'll just do farming sim. Actually, that might not even be gameplay. That might be effects. So yeah, we'll put that as P2. We want Vista work. I'm gonna put that as a P2 as well. This kind of depends on what the budget we have for it is. But I'm going to put the shape language as a P1. Which I do like the existing one. I want to do more. In fact, maybe I should just call it set dressing actually. It's not really- I already have the shape language in. It's just set dress. Am I offline? Are we alive? Did we die? You are offline. You're joking. Okay, I don't see any warnings, but it's the end of stream anyway. It's just gonna be whatever it is. No. For pet set dressing, optimization. Part of me's like, it could be PT optimization. And actually, you know what? I'll put it as both P1 and P2. It needs to be completed at every stage. I'm gonna put 2 just to remind me. Red blockers with VFX. Actually, that's more of an art since it's replacing a mesh. Replace area blockers. Put cosmetics. I really want to get in, but it shouldn't be cosmetics. But it shouldn't be our first priority. Emerald City vendors. I think same thing here. Definitely things I want to get in. But if they happen in November, I think that'd be okay. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can get to, again, doing an early version of it, getting the functionality in by Halloween. But then hopefully we can make it a little prettier later on. Art passing the Emerald City should definitely happen sooner rather than later. Proper tutorial. Gonna make that a P2 also, because I guess the one does technically work, but if we can't, or that might even be able to be P3. I'm gonna keep it here for now, and then we'll look at how much stuff we have. Add NPCs on town, fixing events. I think that would be a little more gameplay related. I'm gonna put P2 as well. To town restoration. I'm gonna put this P3 rebalance XP distribution across enemies. Apple pickup debug. That's also like a... What did I just do? Blocking pass P2 definitely needs to happen, but can happen at the end. Probably best if it happened at the end. Good witch minions should give XP. That could be a P2 for after we balance the fight. Though some of these like P2s, if we're already like, for example, if we're working on the battle design for the Wicked Witches and we get that like done and we still have like 30 minutes left in stream, we might be like, you know what, let's grab a P2 real quick that's related. So some of these P2s might be done at the same time as P1s. Good witch rebalance. That honestly they work as is, so that can be later. Jonesy can't break dance until you pay. That's probably... Is that technically gameplay? I think it is. I'll put that as a P3. Spell Jonesy Jonesy. Or I'll just put Jonesy of Oz. I'll know what that means. Unlockable path from east to south. Yeah, just arting that up because it does technically exist. So that could be a P3. Path from east to south. And then switch enemy variation in the north, the MP2. Okay, and a few other things. I'm trying to think for like the release side. Guess we need to make another like little it can be, this can just be white and this be release details. Would be let's see, prep level for 2.0 development. So I should do that before we start. And then redo thumbnail material. That is stuff I'll have to do as well, and would like to do an earlier pass on. But yeah, this technically could just be done in November, but it needs to be done, so I won't put it as a P3. But yeah, those... You know, going into this, I thought it would be mostly art stuff. We've got a lot of different gameplay related stuff to get to, so this is why I'm glad we took the stream today to plan, and I'm actually glad that we'll be taking a little break, because again, I will be out of town next weekend, including that Friday, so, and we're going to be playing Hades for the next 5 streams starting tomorrow, so we won't actually get to this until the first Monday of October, but I'm kind of glad that we'll have I'll have a week off stream to really think about, and I should be finishing up the next video essay soon. We'll see how much progress I can make on it today. But yeah, we should be finishing that up soon, so yeah, I think everything's gonna turn out just fine. I should be able to take a look at the file and kind of reorganize these out a bit better. But I'm excited. I think if we can get... Right now, looking at this, I'm like, I think we could get all of these done unless there's problems that pop up with the P1s that cut into our time. But I think even by November we could get all of these done. But the thing is, we might add more onto here. We might be working on one of these things and realize there's 2 other tasks, a P1 and a P2 that come out of that. And then that could take away from being we could just eat into some of our time into November and be like, oh, well, the Apple pickup debug, it's fine, let's just go forward with it. Or be like, actually, you know what, the good witches don't need to be rebalanced, it's fine. So the more stuff takes in these tasks up here, the more it would take from back here. But as it stands right now, I feel like we could get the P1s and P2s done by, or at least implemented in some way by Halloween, and then get all of these in a good spot by November. But we'll see, because game development, you know how it is. Prepping for a big release. Not really a big release. I'm not really wanting to monetize this or make big numbers off of this, but I am doing Blocktober again this year, and this was a Fortnite creative tycoon that we made last year. So I'm revisiting it for the first time in almost a year. And there's definitely a lot of stuff I wanted to implement then that I'm like, I guess we'll just leave it, because I always knew I would come back to it this year as well, so I'm like, I guess I'll just leave it and it's good enough. But there's a lot of things that I wanted to implement then that now I want to take the chance to do. A lot more gameplay stuff than I thought, but that's good, that's good. So yeah, just having a little planning stream here today, about wrapping it up because I have to clock into my actual level design job. Yeah, I'm excited. Replaying this today, the core gameplay loop that we made last year for this tycoon, I don't want to change the economy loop at all for this, I think. I really like it. I think it's still really solid. And I think we spent most of last year focusing on balancing the numbers, so I don't want to change the numbers, at least for gold XP. We might raise some of the enemy and combat XP as we work on that. Yeah, when I say editing the gameplay, I mean kind of save state stuff, adding more stuff to unlock, and then definitely overhauling the combat in general will be the biggest one. And then if the memory budget allows it, I want the Emerald City that's still block out. That needs to be actually art pass this year. But doing some more set dressing. The base art is in there, but like the houses are empty. I'd like to set dress the insides of the houses as well. That could be cute. So like, we've got everything. I feel confident in getting a lot of these tasks done because a lot of project setup when you're setting it up from scratch is like finding all like these little pitfalls of, oh, this isn't set up the way I thought it would be, or oh, I need to do more research and watch more tutorials on how to do this because it doesn't work how I thought it would. But now that we have like the base of this tycoon already made, it's already done well, let's just build off of what we have and really focus on these revisions and polish items. I'm excited. I have not actually, this is my first time back in UEFN since the start of the year. I kind of dropped it and went back to doing our little game dev projects in UE5 because there was a big XP glitch where you could not playtest your XP for like a month, and it really upset me. As a level designer, I need to playtest my changes like every minute. Every single change I make, I need to save and playtest it, so not being able to playtest XP when you're making a tycoon-based game, it very much upset me, and I dropped it for a while. But yeah, I see it's already on the latest version of Unreal 5 because the toolbar is way different than what I'm used to. So I have not heard what the December changes will be. I'm hoping we get the 2.0 of this out in November. So it shouldn't affect that if those changes hit in December, but I might need to do a bonus stream in Fortnite Creative just saying what those changes would be, because I'm definitely curious. But yeah, that is going to be all for me today. I gotta go to work. But this has been a blast. We are going to start working on these revisions and doing our actual design streams the first week of October. Usually as a variety streamer, I like to stream something different during our morning streams each day of the week. But for October, we're going to be focusing on 3 things for all of our streams. Morning streams, weekday streams, and weekend streams. Those 3 things will be Blocktober stuff with Oz Tycoon. Especially at the start of the month, we're going to get a lot of morning streams in with this. Then Pokemon Legends comes out the second half of the month, so we will be not promising a full playthrough, but we will be doing a launch day kind of playthrough of that and playing it heavily the first couple weekends it's out. And then we will also be doing, of course, our monthly Elden Ring stream, which will be a multiplayer stream for those that like the stuff we did around July 4th earlier in the summer. Then I hope you will enjoy. I think we're getting close to like the last third of the game, I believe, which is like a point of no return for some side quests, it seems to be. So if there's any side quests in the first 2/3 of the game that we haven't done yet and you guys want me to see, then keep those in mind as well for the upcoming multiplayer stream. But yeah, the next 5 streams starting tomorrow are all gonna be Hades 2. We've been playing early access, we will continue that file, but it's finally 1.0 time, so we're gonna stew on these revision ideas while we go kill time. I'm very excited for stream tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all had this is a nice chill way to start the end of your week, and I hope to see you guys for some Hades 2 over the next few days. Until then, take care everybody.